Gotta move these water sewage outlets. They're way too big and imposing on the skyline. On the city's skyline, if you will. Unsubscribe. What's going on? Move the Mouse here, back in City Skylines, the town of Swampscott. It's better than it sounds. Let's play Season 9, Episode number 16, and I'm sure of it this time. In the last episode, I dropped in some footpaths, and afterwards, I figured I would make this kind of pedestrian roundabout, if you will. Kind of in the roundabout, and just getting people walking across. And I think it's moving a lot of pedestrians. What is it doing to our traffic? You know, that one intersection doesn't really fix all of our problems. It certainly helps a lot. We know where some of our problem intersections are, but we were at 89. Now we're at 88%. But that's pretty good. I like that. I mean, we can deal with that. I still haven't footpathed everywhere. Still need to do that. Run some paths up through these neighborhoods. But maybe we could start off today with like just a little... Where is it? A little rebuild, if you will. So I'll kind of do this over here. I think over here. Basically, what happens here? These are highways. Everything that's directly connected to the rotary is a roundabout. We've been through this before. Somewhat interchangeable terms, at least in New England. One technically connects to the highway, though. There's crosswalks at roads. There's not crosswalks at the highway roads. So if you're doing regular streets, you got the crosswalks. If not, you know, then we don't get those. So how do we get some people moving around? Well, let's do a little footpath roundabout. So in here, we can come into the footpaths. Now we're going to elevate this. I am on the smallest step, so I'm going to go up 3 clicks. And we're going to come inside the roundabout. We're going to freeform it. I don't know, we'll come to about there. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's going to be kind of an oval about or some distortion to it, but that's okay. We can deal. We do that one? I think that's okay. It's a little crooked, but if you look at it from an angle, it's not bad. And it's the same thing over here, right? This one, it looks relatively round from the right perspective, but if you look overhead, it got a little distorted. I could fix that. We're not going to worry about that just yet. So we don't have to worry about getting people from over here, at least not for the time being. So what we can do, we'll probably knock out a building or two here. But let's connect these across first. So we'll just get these across the road as best we can. And then we'll drop it down to the street level. And where can we get... We're going to break this one building. Okay, that did connect, but we want to make sure that that footpath doesn't get overwritten. So we'll dezone that. That's not perfect. Maybe we'll try this again. Where were we? Footpaths. So that looks a little bit more natural. Has a better break there. Why don't we do the same thing over here? So we'll come across first. Whoop, no we won't. We're going to try and come across first. That's actually kind of a tricky spot right there. Let's break this one. Let's try it from over here. So we'll start this way, and we can start bringing it up immediately. That's fine. We don't want to do too abrupt. So we can do something like that. It's not perfect. We don't have move it. And you can tinker around with these as much as you want, but the basic premise here is pedestrians will walk further if there's a pedestrian path. And even if the route's a little bit longer, it's still the preferred route for them to take as a pedestrian. So I didn't mean to tunnel that footpath. Why don't we do that? We'll come up over here. Will that let us connect? It will. A little wonky, but it works. And then let's get at least one more footpath connected right about here. Let's see if we can do this without breaking the zoning. I don't know if we can. Space already occupied by the highway, the road. As soon as we elevate it, that space is occupied. So we're going to break this. There's not really any other way to do it. This one's a little sloppier than the last one, but I'm just trying to give you a quick idea of kind of what happened here. Can we get? We're gonna break some buildings. It's okay. That connected, so we're good there. And we don't really need to worry about foot traffic from over on this side. We could maybe do this. If it'll let us, it will. So again, it's kind of slop. You look at it from the right angle, it's not as bad. But it will get the job done. And we'll see people start taking that pretty quick. Right now, they're just discovering that is an option. But once they realize, once they start new journeys, they should take it a lot more. And not only is this people that are not using cars, so therefore we're reducing traffic that way, we're also preventing a lot of the crosses at the crosswalks as a result, which should also help traffic flow a little bit smoother. So in combination, it's actually a kind of a double benefit there. This one is definitely a little all over the place. But hopefully that gives you some ideas on some ways to move some people around. Let's take a look. Traffic flow is at 88, 89%. I like it. We can deal with that. So, 7 million in the bank and making money. What kind of projects should we kick off? Well, we certainly could afford pretty much anything that we want to do right now. Let's take a look at where we're at. Where's 85,000 for top population cap? We just hit 46. We don't get another one until 70. We did unlock the nuclear power plant, cargo hub, helicopter depot, and helicopter stops. So that's interesting. We should probably throw that in there since that is a new mechanic for Sunset Harbor. Electricity, we're good for a while. We've got the, what, 2 solar updraft towers. So when that eventually runs out, we'll disable these and drop in a single nuclear power plant. And that'll get us power for quite a long time. When we re-enable these two, as we run out of power on that, we should be able to get to Fusion Monument, I think. But time will tell. I can't recall if that usually gets us there. I think that it does. A nuclear and 2 of these. Worst case, 2 nuclears and 2 of those, and we'll be good to go. And then we'll have the fusion plant, and then we will never need to worry about power again. So power's okay. What was we want to do the helicopters, but we also might consider an upgrade to our cargo station over here. We can make it a cargo hub and bring the trains into that. So right here we've got passenger trains coming into the city. We could have cargo trains coming direct to here. So let's bust this. We'll break even a road segment there. Come into shipping. Cargo hub. And why don't we throw that one right about there? That should give us room to hook those train tracks in. Let's get the road reconnected. So we'll do that. And then let's go over to our train tracks and get that hooked in. do a three-way split here? I mean, we could. I don't think it'll hurt anything. And then how do we get this reconnected? I think we need to kind of bring this up over here. Let's see. How do we slope this up nice and slow? We do that. And that. And then we'll get up to 3 clicks right there before we get to the road. That could work. Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa. What is this lump? Try that again. Alright, it's going to put that lump there, huh? So, if we want to avoid that, we probably have to stop that first segment. Right about there? No, it's still gonna... I gotta drop that down, huh? So 1 click down is a tunnel, and 1 click up is too high. It's that lump. So we'll deal with that for now. What we're gonna have to do if you want to avoid something like this, we've got to flatten the terrain underneath, or at least make it so that it's the same height where the pillars are, same ground height, and then you'll be able to avoid little bumps like that. But that is a problem for future mouse in another episode. We'll fix that one later. So we've got the cargo hub hooked in. Let's play at 3 times speed. Let's see our first cargo train come in. Man, that is lumpy. This whole area, the rails are really just purpose built to get stuff in and out. Not really helping with the appearance over here. But again, from the right angle, you can tell how lumpy it is. So it may take a minute for ships to realize that this is an accessible port again. They might have reset when we deleted the old one, so we may not see anything there for a moment. But we've got this separate route. We can get cargo into the city via train, excess goods out. Of course. Okay, they're right on top of that one. Sorry, everybody. Or at least sorry to those of you that are here for the fires. There'll be more... I was going to say there'll be more fires, don't worry. And I've said this before, I love that the firefighters are like, no, I did my job, I put out that building, I'm going back home. Just leave the building next door, engulfed in flames. Thank you for putting that one out quickly, before the next one caught. So, what we unlocked is one of the new things for Sunset Harbor, and that is helicopter depot and helicopter stops. So, why don't we... Is that under air? Helicopter stop. Is this the helicopter depot? It is. So, where do we put this? Someplace noisy. That should be fine. So we've got a helicopter depot. Now we got to do helicopter stops. Now, how big are these things? They have roads built in. I'm just going to build this to destroy it. Why does it have that massive footprint for a road when it's a tiny little square like that? What am I missing? I guess you need space for the helicopters to pull in and out, but they should be able to plop right down. So let's do this. Let's come up with a couple spots, right? We don't have to do helicopter coverage everywhere. Now, it does have a noise pollution bubble, so we've got to be careful with that. Maybe we can put it right down here. Make helicopter a potential avenue for getting people over to the train and metro station. Now, we want to see some people flying around. Little route turnaround right there. So where's it going to bother them less, right? Let's get them over to industry. Let's get them over to this office park, maybe. It's up here by the noisy towers anyways. The updraft towers make a decent amount of noise. So we've got one down there. We've got one up here. We've got one over there. Do we drop one somewhere in this middle neighborhood, maybe. We put it right next to the cargo station here. So now I think we need to do blimp line, helicopter line. So I'm pretty sure you need to do pathways just like with the ferries and stuff, which is kind of weird because you'd think they'd just be able to fly around wherever they want. I guess it's not a bad thing. So let's... Space very occupied. So do we have to kind of come out at an angle to hook into that? I think we might. So that's kind of, what is that, like the approach path? Let's see, where's our next one? Where did we do? We did way over here. So kind of where do we want them flying over our city, I guess, right? So let's have them kind of immediately, I think, hook over this way. I'm kind of fly out and around the main population where we can. We'll just get that hooked in. We'll come over here. We'll get that one to the northwest. We'll come up over Green Park before we hook back around. Kind of weird. Might be some helicopters flying through the updraft tower there, would be my guess. And then the last one should be over this way. We'll fly over the industrial area before touching down, and then we'll close our... I don't know that we need to close it, because it is a two-way street. But just in case, invalid shape, come on, let me do this. Then we'll hook back in like that in case they need to get back or want to do the route the other way. So helicopter lines now. We don't need to include the hub in the stop, the depot. We'll create a new line with these. Let's see, where do we go from here? All the way over here. Wow, okay. Add stop. Add a stop. And here. And we can now return this on the other half. So this works just like roads. There's a two-way street. You can see kind of the dark side gets highlighted. I probably should have put that one closer to that transportation hub in retrospect. But we're already halfway done creating this line, so let's just get some helicopters moving in our city. This should complete it, and that should spawn helicopters from the depot. Nice, almost immediately. Okay, let's pause for a second. And let's see if we can follow this guy around. No passengers en route. Distance traveled online. Follow? Sure. Take a little flight around our city. Whoa, 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 drunkie. Look at that. Hey, bunch of people. How many can get on there, though? 20 at a time? Is that what it was? It's not going to move around a lot of people, but it's some people that aren't on the roads. Every little bit we can do helps. So this is one of the new mechanics in Sunset Harbor. One of the things I really like about Sunset Harbor is it makes the map feel more alive when you drop all these assets in. When you have fishing boats cruising around your harbors, when you have helicopters, eventually when we unlock the aviation club, we'll have stunt planes flying off the edge of the map. It makes it feel more alive. And it looks like it's very popular. We're probably going to need to step up the number of vehicles on the line, would be my guess. There's already plenty of people waiting for it. We'll also have to look at, what is appealing about this line? Is it getting them to places where other forms of transit weren't really close by? Like up here, I don't think there's a transit stop nearby. They flew right around the... Why did you just decide to stop following right there? Got a little confused. I didn't hit anything. I just decided to stop following it. I don't know what's up. How's our water over here? Doing good. Is that thing on? That thing's on, isn't it? Wait, is it? Yeah, it is. Okay, we gotta come back and check that. Where's our helicopter? I lost him. Should be landing right over here. Gotta move these water sewage outlets. They're way too big and imposing on the skyline. On the city's skyline, if you will. Unsubscribe. There we go. So it's moving some people around, right? Like I said, every little bit helps. Does it help enough to already make a dent in our traffic? Probably not. Right? Because the reason that we have a traffic problem... Hey! World of Rotorcraft. Transport 15,000 citizens in passenger helicopters. Either these helicopters that you just saw are absolutely packed. It is not safe social distancing to have 15,000 people in 5 helicopters. I can tell you that right now. It's also probably physically impossible. Just a guess. But that is at least the second or third bugged achievement in Sunset Harbor where I got credit for doing something that I definitely got nowhere close to the threshold for. Let's take a quick look. So if we go to what has been unlocked recently, we definitely did not transport 15,000 citizens in passenger helicopters. 0.05% of gamers unlocked this. Now you're going to see really low percentages for any DLC content, right? What people buy the base game, you don't buy all the DLC, so automatically you kind of get a bump and the DLC achievements automatically become rare. Treat 20 million cubic meters of wastewater using the inland water treatment plant. I unlocked that like 5 seconds after putting it down. Okay, so it's only 2. It's only 2 because that is which one's that? Campus. So it's not bad, but it was definitely 2 glitched achievements. So I wonder what else we have. We go to the bottom of the list. Catch 10 million units of fish. I'm surprised I didn't get that one yet. In the wait, I have fishing set up, right? I do. There go the boats. So yeah, something's buggy about the achievements in Sunset Harbor. We've got a little helicopter test in. What did we skip? We didn't do a university yet. I think that's going to be maybe a big build for one of the next episodes, is to replace our existing education system, or at least the higher ed universities, because we've got one of the default plain Jane universities right there. We've got another one up here. And nothing over here, but everybody's well educated university-wise. They're making the trip, which is good and appreciated. And all the fancy office jobs that are coming to the city are going to need you. So, in fact, that is one of our biggest demands right now. But where are we going to put a college campus, right? Where can we kind of get that in? We could utilize a lot of this area over here. That's a good spot, right? We could really spread out and have a fun suburban style campus over there. If we were going to go a little bit bigger, a little bit more downtown, you know, maybe we can fill in one of these areas or use this area over by the water. We still haven't decided which tiles to buy. I think I am going to buy this one though. So that would be 6, maybe 7, 8, 9, or 6, 7. This would be a cool spot to kind of tuck an airport across over the water, separate out a little bit like you'll find in many cities. And you'll notice that highway system is mostly included in there. It's going to be a little tight getting an exit ramp just right. We may even have to bend the highway a little bit to give us room to craft an exit in there. But it would be nice, I think, to buy that to throw the airport off to the side. It's a massive noise pollution problem. And that would kind of be a cool spot. Also, if we buy down here, this kind of lets us extend maybe this industrial area, get into... This is also a shipping harbor that kind of loops around back here if we go to shipping. What is this? So you can see, okay, if I go into ferry paths, you can see shipping cargo route paths. So they'll actually come all the way down here into this little loop. So as long as we can see that from here, we could have another cargo area. We've got a downed sunken ship. Or not sunken, I guess. It got stuck on a sandbar or something. But yeah, we could kind of turn this into an industrial pocket. Water flow wise, it's kind of pooling up over here, but it's on the right. It's on the right part of the flow because we're pulling in water here, clean and good. We're dumping out clean water now thanks to the eco water treatment plant. So we're doing good in the pollution front, I believe. Let's take a quick scan just to make sure nothing is an immediate problem. Electricity good. Okay, water availability. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. How did I miss this one, and how has that not been a problem yet? So, we'll go right on the main street. Downside to this one, if there's a fire on this block, you're going to have a little bit of trouble turning around to it. I don't know if I'm crazy about this. The change from 4 to 6 lanes. I got to find another way to do that. But it gives us pedestrian paths. But do we need those pedestrian paths? That one person that just crossed the street would argue that, yes, we need those pedestrian paths. But considering that's the only person that's crossed so far, I'm gonna give it a minute for one of them to prove me wrong. But if we see one person cross in like 30 seconds... Was that a person on the left that just crossed? It's not really enough. It's not really enough to bother with. But then again, is it really, you know, is it aesthetically unpleasing? I don't know. It's a little strange. There's no car park lane there. But it is a trick you can do without mods to get crosswalks in there. To change the road type. Normally you could, and it's a little bit more forgiving when we look at the small roads, is I could just replace a middle segment, just like I did before, but changing from a 2-lane standard street to a 2-lane grassline street will cause that change. If you do that with a 4-lane to 4-lane, it doesn't, because it doesn't change anything about the median, right? The median's the same. There's just some trees there now. Whereas over here, you're removing the parking lane to fill that in with grass, and it does change the street type. So works on 2. I want to say it works on 6. Because of the parking lane change, right? Let's see. So if we have a 6-lane road and then we go to a grass line 6-lane road, that does create a crosswalk. So why 4 lanes don't do that, I don't know. It'd be nice if they did, because it is a pretty cool trick that you can do to get crosswalks in the vanilla game. But unfortunately, it doesn't work with 4-lane roads. So 2 and 6, have fun. And if you wanted to, you could do what I did, which is change 4 to 6, back to 4, and achieve the same thing. But since that doesn't get us exactly what we're looking for, we'll just put that back for now. So I do want to focus on lots of mass transit in this city. I don't know why. I do know why. Sunset Harbor has a fair amount of mass transit capabilities with the new hubs and things like that. So it's almost mass transit 2.0 in a way. It's kind of a main focus. It's mass transit and fishing is what Sunset Harbor is all about. So we're really going to try and focus... Let me cinematic while I talk about this. We're really going to try and focus on, you know, good traffic flow, moving lots of people around. I got to look at the bus routes, but we got to redo, you know, Transport 2.0. But I want to build the city out a little bit further. We're just still going to connect in lines and get it all strung together for the meantime. And eventually, once we have it built out a bit more and we've decided on kind of the final spot of the bones of the city where things really are going to reside, then we can start to overhaul the system, because it doesn't make sense to overhaul it every time you add a new area, because you're just going to overhaul it when you add that last area. Or at least that's how I think of it. Some creative builders, you know, they're just going to go for what they want right out of the gate, but, you know, we don't necessarily have the money for that. We do have a ton of money in the bank. I could probably frame out a bunch of streets and decide where I want things, but until people move into those areas, we're not getting tax revenue. We're paying for road maintenance for roads people aren't using. So we want to build things up a little bit more organically as we go. You know, I've got a vision in mind for the city. You probably get something different in mind. But hopefully you get some ideas and inspiration and some fun out of these episodes. I'm planning, in the early stages of planning out my build for next season. But don't worry, Swampscott is not going away anytime too soon. But what I wanted to do basically was each season on the calendar this year, start a new season of the Let's Play. So with summer right around the corner, unless you are in the southern hemisphere, then you've got winter right around the corner, and I'm sorry for that. But with that right around the corner, I want to switch things up. I've got a new idea for a build, so I'm working on some things on the side for that. But in the meantime, there's still so much to do in Swampscott. If you've been enjoying the episodes, and certainly if you stayed tuned this long, I'm hoping that you did. If you didn't, why are you staying around so long? But hopefully you did, and hit that like button. It really helps the channel a lot and is greatly appreciated. If you're new here, subscribe for more of this, and consider hitting the bell to get notifications for updates in this and other series. Follow me on Twitter and join the Discord if you want to get involved in the discussion. Great group of people over there. We talk cities and other games. Fans of the game, fans of the channel. Come on over there and join in on the fun. If you want to support the channel, links to that and all those other things in the description down below. But until the next one, from the town of Swampscott, it's better than it sounds. This is Move the Mouse, signing off.